Hey everyone, welcome back with Beano Mac, where today we're once again continuing our playthrough of Plants vs. Zombies Replanted, and we're continuing on with the second half of the night levels here, folks. And of course, this primarily relies on the, the mushrooms. As you can see, I'm filling up my arsenal with shrooms, as, some of the more experienced players say. They got no time to, say the full name because they're just too busy protecting their lawn from those monsters, those zombies. And I figured today, as per usual, we'll just kind of get into the question of the day a lot quicker than normal, right at the beginning of the video, I mean. And, usually it's normal, so I don't know why the heck I just said that. But question of the day is, do you think zombies are overhyped? You think they're overrated, or, do you think they deserve all the praise that they get, all the media attention they seem to get? They're pretty much like the most popular, monster, I feel like, these days, by a pretty wide margin, I mean, they had that burst, like I mentioned in previous videos, in the 2010s and stuff like that, especially. And, they're still going strong to this day. I mean, if you're asking me the question of the day that I asked you, for whatever reason, if you're kind of trying to flip it back onto me for some reason, of course, I'm playing Plants vs. Zombies, dude. I mean, what do you think? Do you really think that I don't think the zombies are like the freaking greatest thing ever? I mean, I love Resident Evil, I love Plants vs. Zombies. Admittedly, when it comes to films, I'm not really a zombie film guy, I mean, I like the first two Resident Evil movies. The first one was mostly pretty decent. I think the second one, it was okay. I think they definitely had some pretty freaky scenes, especially with like the scene where that reporter lady gets eaten by all the zombie children. That still kind of sticks in my head to this day. Uh-oh. Wow, he came quick. Yeah, we're just gonna put you there so that way we can take full advantage of you in case anybody comes. But as you can see, we got a new zombie type here. But yeah, I mean, I love the zombies. They're definitely my favorite monster. I think they, like I've said in previous videos, well, I mean, the thought of being eaten alive is just so terrifying. I mean, literally being torn apart alive. I mean, that's like something you'd only see in like nature or something like that. That's freaky, that's scary, that's very unsettling. That is definitely not the way I would ever want to go. Let's put it that way. So, I mean, yeah, zombies are number one. Never got into The Walking Dead, though. I don't know if any of you guys have watched that show. You gotta let me know what you think, your thoughts on there. The closest experience to... I watched a few episodes just randomly, and I was actually interested in them. But that was before I ever was into streaming, which is off cable. So never really got into it. But even, like, my grandparents and my uncles and stuff like that, the family was just kind of into that. Because it was just, good storytelling more than anything, for what I've seen. And yeah, I mean, even though I watched episodes like halfway through, the series, I mean, it captivated me. I don't know why I never really went back to watch it. But even the comics seem very interesting. And so maybe someday I'll actually check out that series. But if anybody has watched it, tell me what you recommend. With that said, back to Plants vs. Zombies here, folks. And as you can see, we got the football zombie. Not only is he stronger, more durable than the Buckethead, but he's obviously, as you can see, he's faster. He don't play that, folks. He did not play that. He is probably one of the most difficult zombies in the entire series. And I mentioned last episode about the trash can zombies. A variant that's not used in this game, but they're the screen door zombies and like the trial version, which may or may not be so playable. I don't know. It's EA, so who knows? But it's a free version. You get to play like the first 20 levels of Plants vs. Zombies, and there's some differences there. I don't know if it's because of like they just use beta elements, or if they just wanted to kind of, throw a few weird curveballs in there. So when you play the actual game by buying it, you're like, wait a minute, that's supposed to be the trash can zombie, not the screen door zombie. What's going on here? I don't know what the deal is with that, but they do have what I believe to be an exclusive version intentionally is the Giga football zombie. And listen to that back. I said Giga with a G, just like Giga Bowser. I ain't like that, but yeah, the Giga football player is, he has, instead of red, he's black. you know, well, rewind, pause, you know, rewind that back. That not that kind of black. You know, his uniform is black instead of red. And jeez, yeah, he's 10 times like stronger, like more durable. He has like I think like 10 times more health than like a regular football zombie, I think it said. And yeah, he's exclusive to the trial version, and he's kind of like reminiscent, I guess, of like he's reminiscent of a zombie that you face later on, literally at the end of the game, strength-wise, and it's crazy. I always wondered why they never brought him into this game. In a lot of ways, he's actually more frightening than the monster whose health he's also based off of. Which you'll see eventually. He's literally like the last 2 levels in the entire game. It's a pretty crazy zombie. Obviously, if you played the game, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But yeah, the Giga zombie, Giga football zombie, crazy. And yeah, like I said, it's just such a crazy concept because he runs so fast. You know, like there is no like weakness for him or anything like that. He can just take instant death items. So powerful. You have to hit him with 2. So you know, you'd have to hit him with 2 of the, you know, the frickin', you know, cherry bombs or spuds, you know, spud bombs or whatever. He's just that strong. And I don't know, I always want, like, I hope as like once again, like I've never seen him in any other version of the game, but I hope it's like a cool Easter egg or something like that. He's just like included in one of, you know, like the mini games or levels or something like that in this game, because that would just be so awesome to me. But, I think even in the trial version, you can also do like the vase breaker mini games. I can't remember if you can do like the other puzzle game, which we'll get to later on, but Vase Breaker is, you know, that's a classic to me. And I think, I could be wrong, I think he only shows up on like the last level of the trial version, the Giga Zombie. And, I think it's just in the Vase Breakers. Which I think it's just like Endless Vase Breaker or something like that. But yeah, just a really cool zombie variant that's exclusive to the trial version. And like, I only keep bringing him up because I played the trial version so many times in my life when like I just didn't have, you know, the Plants vs. Zombies game available, you know, because it used to just be my grandfather's on PC, and I didn't have a PC at home for the longest time. So, even then, like, you know, I just, whenever we had laptops, I just wouldn't buy the game for whatever reason. I don't know why. But eventually I got, you know, Plants vs. Zombies on the 360 and stuff like that, so all was well with the world. But yeah, the trial version, just something so fascinating about it, you know. Like I said, if you haven't played this game and you want to play it for free, go check that out, see if they still have it, because you get a very large portion of the game, you know. I mean, you get all the levels I'm playing right now, honestly, and you know, this is already, what, like almost 2-hour playthrough? Plus you get the Vase Breaker Endless levels, too. Maybe even more than that, I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely, they give you almost, you know, I wouldn't say half of the game, but they gave you a really good chunk of that game. So, if you're interested and you're not sure if you want to play it, check it out there. Plus, I think they even use like cookies or something like that to save your progress and stuff too, so pretty awesome. Alright. It's coming. Oh boy, more of these football fellas. Alright, let's see how, you know, let's see him take out that guy right there. I was gonna think about having him fight, you know, the plants, but I don't know if I could take it. Like I said, it's that level symmetry. My perfectly organized god. And some people even think like you should put the sunflowers in front of the pea shooters. We don't talk to those people. We don't acknowledge them. They're not real Plants vs. Zombies players. We don't talk about those bottom feeders. not having the sunflowers in the back. My goodness. Some people. Alright, I actually was... I wasn't paying attention, but I think we might actually have like a new zombie on this level. I want to say it's this level, because it'd be kind of weird to me if like they just had it on like the second to last one. But I don't know, maybe they do that, but I can tell you that the final level, like level 10 of this level, was like the same exact way, you know, it was in the daytime, where it's like the conveyor belt giving us free plants, and we just have to, you know, strategically put it throughout the, you know, the yard as we see fit. But obviously it's just gonna be mostly mushrooms and stuff like that. But I hope like they don't have the new zombie just in the second to last and the last level, because I feel like you don't get to experience them as much in that way. But I mean, obviously, as you can tell too, like with the pole vaulting zombie, he started in the daytime levels, but obviously he transferred over into the, you know, the night times and stuff too, and that's not how it always works. But yeah, we'll see a lot of these. Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah, the disco zombie, and this is a cool thing you can do. Now he has people fight for us. Look at that. Look at that, folks. It's just too bad he usually doesn't really survive much longer, but yeah, we even got an achievement for it too. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, the backup dancers, and I love I just love the zombie. It's one of my favorite zombies, honestly. Just the goofiness of the entire concept of it. Like, I think it's just really cool. Like, it's a weird, goofy concept, but then it's actually like, okay, you think, all right, what the heck is the point of this disco dude? Wait, oh, whoa, he's got 4 backup dancers to surround him. That's crazy. That's knuckin' butts. And yeah, so I mean, he's definitely the kind of guy you want on your side. I didn't even know there was an achievement for him. I was just like, nah, I gotta have this guy fight for me. Take out some other guys. Honestly, the football zombie's way harder than him, but you know, we'll take him out fair and square with my bare hands. Look out! Let's see if we can get him again, actually. I think he's too slow. Oh man, just missed him. That's the thing, he worries too much about dancing sometimes, but there's another character in my opinion that's you know, really interesting in my opinion, like his early design, because when the game first released, he was completely different, right? In which it was just, obviously you might know, oh, dancing zombie, where'd they get that concept from? That's weird. He wasn't always the disco zombie. He was actually just called, I believe he was just the dancing zombie. And I never had this version. I actually, you know, figured it out later on, just looking up online and stuff like that. And I don't think it's in the trial version either. And good reason for that. Obviously, you know, he's a dancing zombie because he was based off of Michael Jackson. He was literally just a dancing zombie. You know, his backup dancers, they were all doing the Thriller. Like, I don't think it was exactly the Thriller dance, but it was like very, very, very close to it. And yeah, the people for Michael Jackson's estate were like, no, you're not doing that. PopCap Games, and they had to very, very, very quickly change it. And you know, they had to update the design. I think he looked just like Michael Jackson. I believe the backup dancers looked different, and they just kind of made him to the disco zombie instead, which I think I like the reference. You know, I like some Michael Jackson. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, he's one of the best stars we've had, of course. You know, I love Thriller. Thriller actually I think is a little overrated. It's a good song, but like in comparison to his other Michael Jackson songs, I just like other ones more. You know, I like Billie Jean. You know, I love Beat It. Beat It and Billie Jean are the two best. It's tough for me. It's kind of like my mood on which one I think is better at the time. I think I might like Billie Jean a little bit more, but man, the guitar for freaking Beat It, man, it's just an awesome song. You wanna beat up better. Jeez, now I'm messing up the lyrics here. I guess I better beat it. But I'm such an idiot sometimes. But yeah, so yeah, I appreciate the reference that they were trying to do, but I think overall I actually do like just the concept of the disco zombie a lot more, because then you have like you have the music that comes with it, you have the look. I think the backup dancers I just really like because just how goofy they look. You know, they got the freaking, I think, Hawaiian shirts or something like that with the mustaches. You know, I love it. I love everything about it. But yeah, if you have, you know, ever want to look at those, you know, I think of the post when I post this, you know, make the post on you know, YouTube and stuff like that, I'll probably, you know, show all the, you know, all of the zombies from their earlier looks. And it's funny because most of the zombies that did have the different looks were from the you know, the nighttime levels, I believe. You know, I'm pretty sure you know, the pole vaulting zombie, you know, maybe I'm sure they all had different concept arts at various points. Obviously, that's just how it is. You know, you draw up multiple versions. You see developers draw up multiple versions of things and stuff like that before they, you know, go on the final concept. But you know, obviously with the in-game character models, for the most part, like the regular garden variety, as they, you know, describe them, regular zombie. You know, I'm sure he looked pretty much the exact same as he does in all the other things. You know, and all the other versions, stuff like that. But yeah, it seems like the nighttime zombies have all those different variants that I mentioned before in the video, and I just think that's really cool, you know. Something that also used to be really cool that they don't do anymore, and I was really disappointed to see it not in the replanted version, because there's a lot of other concepts that they like you know, brought back from the PC versions that they took out of like the console versions. Was you used to be able to just like, it was just like a small little feature, you could create your own character avatar, and that avatar would I think, because in this version you have profiles, right? Even though like I play my Switch and I have my Switch profile on my, you know, Switch profile, this profile can still you know, create as many, you know, profiles for this game specifically that I want. I think it's like 10 or something like that, but like, you know, for Beano Mac, I can create like 10 character profiles for that specific profile for my Switch. I know I'm probably confusing the hell out of people right now, and it doesn't make sense, so I'm not good at explaining things. But you get what I mean. Like in this game, it has its own in-game profiles that you can create, right? And with those profiles in the PC version, that's how it started out. And it made sense because obviously, you know, it was just a PC. Of course, you're going to have multiple profiles on the same PC if multiple people are playing. But anyway, you used to be able to create your own zombie avatar, and it was just like a few goofy things, like just generic, you know, hair, and maybe you could put glasses on them, you can give them mustaches, just silly stuff like that. And I think you may have been able to change the shirt, and it was just your zombie profile avatar, right? But in the PC version, when you made that avatar, the flag zombies would always take on that avatar, and if you had multiple profiles, you had multiple avatars, and it didn't matter what profile you were playing as, it would constantly cycle through, you know, just at random, you know, the various avatars that you have on your PC saved. And that was just kind of a really cool detail to me for the flag zombies, you know. I like that, you know. So it was just it's too bad that didn't return for this game, you know. I think they could have done some fun stuff with that. Maybe even added more, but I guess they just didn't want to do that. And the fume shrooms, as you just noticed too, not only do they go through screen doors, but they attack multiple zombies at once, which is other awesome feature of the fume shroom, and why they're kind of OP in my opinion. Alright, we got a little, we got a letter here, but yeah, I can't get the sun, really. I'm not gonna make you guys wait. Hello, we would like to visit for a midnight snack. How does ice cream and brain sound? Sincerely, the zombies. I love the way that they misspell things and change all the S's into Z's. So much personality in these idiot zombies. I do love it. You can definitely tell this game in general was just a passion project by PopCap Games. Another small feature, I didn't really care that it didn't return, but in the PC version, I believe there was like 5 variations of like the main menu you could change. And like, I think it kind of just all reflected pretty much what was your favorite time I can't really think of like the freaking proper title that I'm trying to describe. Like, you know, you could have like a daytime house, a nighttime house, you know, and stuff like that. I'm not gonna spoil the rest of the settings that you're gonna fight in. Settings, we'll just call it that for right now. You know, the level types. And yeah, you know, it's just something where you could change the menu background, and there was different houses you could put in there and stuff like that, and that was pretty cool. You know, just something small. Small things that games used to really do back in the day, just to add that teeny little bit of customization to your game. You know, I love that they used to do that kind of stuff. Now, you know, I guess they focus more on gameplay these days, which, you know, you can't complain on that aspect. Although, I mean, I don't know, this game... I mean, the gameplay was already there to begin with, so it's not like you're just kind of removing features at that point, I guess. But I don't know, I mean, there's more features in the Replanted that weren't in the originals, so I'll come some slack on that. I'll come some slack. The only issue I had with these levels is it's kind of like, you know, almost idiot-proof. Like, they're supposed to be the final levels in the game for each setting, but like, as you can see, I got 3 Doom Shrooms, right? And they take out pretty much the entire, like, screen, literally. Like, they can take out all 5 lanes. And it's, like, honestly, you know, depending on where you want to put them at the beginning so they can, you know, get pretty much everybody, especially at the beginning of the wave. I mean, and yeah, sure, they do, you know, make those craters so you can't put anything down where the craters are until the craters heal. Which usually takes, like, I think 3 to 5 minutes or something like that. Which, in battle, a second is a lifetime. So, just keep that in mind, but... yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of idiot-proof. Because, I mean, look at all this extra backup stuff that I have. And the hardest part is literally, like, the first, like, 30 seconds of the game to make sure that you have enough to kind of... a plant in every lane in the back, just to make sure that you have something to... you know, cover the game, you know, have something fight everybody in a lane, and that's kind of it. And it's just practically, you know, you're stocked, you're loaded. It's very tough to lose on these levels. You have to pretty much be trying. So it's a little anticlimactic, in my opinion, with this stuff. That said, the final boss works in a similar manner to this. You know, it isn't a conveyor belt battle. That said, it actually is a bit of a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. So I think they at least did that right. Although I don't think you ever get the opportunity, even in like a mini game, to fight them with just, you know, basic sunlight and stuff like that, which I guess would be pretty crazy. But it would be a very interesting challenge, nevertheless, you know. Oh boy, I think it may have, this is not good. I don't really have any lanes I can really put up here. Too many craters. Ah, man, I just want to... I love turning those disco zombies into the hypno zombies. As you can see, they definitely spam the screen with these zombies too, so... yeah, there we go. We're just kind of clearing up our conveyor belt. Want to try and get rid of all these graves before the end of the game, but I'm kind of at the mercy of the game. Yeah, even though they're actually pretty good, like the ice shroom and the you know, the doom shroom, hypno shroom too. I feel like I just never really like using these kind of like you know, weapons, you know, plants or anything like that. I don't know, they just don't really fit my style. I just like straight up shooters. I don't usually like explosion plants, and obviously I think it doesn't help the fact that I can only use them at night. But also I just usually prefer like the quick ones, like the cherry bomb or the you know, yeah, like cherry bomb, stuff like that. I won't spoil future plants, but we got some more of them. Alright, I just somehow accidentally put that behind the football zombie. He's too fast. Yeah, that's if you haven't noticed that, seen it yet, that is the negative effect of the scaredy shroom. So, that said though, thank you so much for watching, and remember to have a great day.